Traders, the S&P 500 is so simple to predict. It really is, and I know that's a crazy statement, but just go into a large time frame. There has been one perfect entry every single year over on the S&P 500 for the last 15 plus years. As you can see right now, the best entry you can ever have is going to a monthly chart on the S&P 500 and noticing the 50-day moving average. Perfect dip buy, perfect bounce play. 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 If you only enter when the S&P 500 comes on down to the 50-day moving average on the monthly chart, you've had 3 to 4 years of climbing. Here you had 2.5 years of climbing. Here you had 1.5 years of climbing. Here you had 2 years of climbing. And here you've had 2.5 years of climbing. Now, after those 2.5 years on average, you do have a pullback back down to the 50-day moving average. And you did have about 6 months of pulling back down to the 50-day moving average. And here you had about 4 months of pulling back down to the 50-day moving average. And here you had about a 9-month stretch of falling back down to the 50-day moving average. And guess what? We are now sitting, where at? Right here. Traders, it is normal action, price movement. It is all following into our normal routine. Where just because the market falls does not mean the market is done. Just the market is not, again, falling apart to pieces and you need to freak on out. The thing is, when everyone is saying, wow, this market sucks. Wow, we're in a bear market. Wow, everyone run for your life. Wow, everyone avoid the stock market. No, this is the time that you have the best entry to possibly ever have. Here's the best entry you could possibly have. The times that everyone is saying, oh, yes, buy AI, buy NVIDIA. It's the best entry ever. You are buying right here. You're buying at the very tippity top. The name of the game is almost don't listen to anyone or don't listen to the majority of people in the stock market. The majority of people, once they start saying this stock is going to make me rich, it's time to short it. When everyone's saying, man, the stock market sucks, it's time to start buying back in. Because a lot of traders who lose just, again, go with their current emotions. Current emotions, market's falling. Current emotions, market's dipping. Current emotions, market's getting ugly. Hey, that means great dip buys are right around the corner. Do you honestly think that the S&P 500, the stock market that has been climbing for, again, 100 years now, moving itself on up? Sure, there's recessions. Sure, there's dips. Sure, there's pullbacks. But those are the best entries possible. Imagine, again, seeing the dot-com bubble, seeing a crash and getting in at the lowest point. Not saying, oh, wow, it's the dot-com crash. Let me stay away from this and let me wait until it gets all the way back up to record highs. Imagine, again, getting filled at the bottom of 2007. How amazing that is. Not, again, waiting until it pops all the way on up to get filled. Imagine, again, getting filled over on NVIDIA before it turns into NVIDIA. Not buying at the very top of NVIDIA, getting crushed all the way back on down. So what I'm trying to kind of mold your mindset in is we might have a pullback back on down. There's a